Hello again to all of you Cinemaniacs out there, and welcome back to Arrow Senior Living's Marvel Cinematic Universe Weekend Movie Marathon Primer Series. My name is Aaron Neeson, Arrow's Visual Media Director, and I am your guide through this marathon, preparing you for the movies you are going to be enjoying with reminders and tips on important events and characters you will be seeing. Today, we are laying the groundwork for Black Widow, the 16th movie we are watching in this series. Before we begin, a public service announcement. We are watching these movies in chronological order, but that is very different from the order they were released. Black Widow came out in 2021, 5 years after Captain America: Civil War. There were multiple movies released in between those movies that take place chronologically after the Black Widow movie. Thus, the credits scene for Black Widow actually contains a spoiler for events that we have not yet seen in the Arrow Marvel movie marathon. So, if you want to avoid a spoiler for things that we have not seen yet, do not watch until the end of the credits. If you turn the movie off as the credits roll, then you shall remain spoiler-free. Got it? Spoilers at the end of the credits for movies you have not yet watched. You have been warned. Okay, so we just watched Captain America: Civil War, where we saw Captain America battle against Iron Man to protect his friend, Bucky Barnes. It turns out that Bucky, while brainwashed and controlled by Hydra, had been sent to kill Tony Stark's, aka Iron Man's, parents. He succeeded in his mission, which caused Tony to try and kill Bucky in revenge, pitting Iron Man against Captain America and the Winter Soldier. While Steve and Bucky were able to prevent Tony from killing Bucky, which I'm sure Tony now sees is the right thing to have happened, it tore the Avengers apart, meaning that Helmut Zemo, the mastermind behind all of this, won in the end. The heroes who helped Steve and Bucky were either imprisoned or were on the run, which is where we find Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. The movie also introduced us to King T'Challa of Wakanda, aka Black Panther, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Kind of sketchy for Iron Man to recruit a teenager, but I think it's best to let this one slide and move on. During a credits scene, we also see that Bucky and Steve are now hiding in Wakanda, where T'Challa is helping Bucky heal his damaged, brainwashed mind. I really hope that you enjoyed Captain America: Civil War. It's one of my favorites, if for nothing else than the airport superhero versus superhero battle. It's so much fun watching the different heroes clash and their personalities and powers bounce off one another. But now it is time to move on to the next movie in our marathon, Black Widow. So, what do you need to know for this one? We're going to talk about characters and previous events and then get into the plot. No spoilers yet. I promise I'll warn you before that happens. First up is U.S. Secretary of State Thaddeus Ross, the man who helped create the Hulk and pass the Sokovia Accords. And there's the titular character, Black Widow, aka Natasha Romanoff, super spy and master of martial arts, former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and former Avenger with a dark past. She is now on the run after the events of Captain America: Civil War, where the Sokovia Accords ruled that the Avengers and superheroes required UN oversight. She wound up siding with Captain America and others to oppose the Accords, and they are all now in hiding or imprisoned. We also know that Black Widow was part of a Russian spy program called the Red Room, which trained other super spy widows like Natasha. And that's what you need to know going into the movie. This is a very Black Widow focused movie, as you probably guessed based on the title, so we don't need to worry about any other superheroes at the moment. Which means now it's time to talk a little bit about the plot and some new characters. So if you're wanting to go in spoiler free, it's time to turn this off and enjoy the film. Okay, now that they're gone, let's talk about the plot. Minor spoilers about the story from here on out. We start off in 1995, where super soldier Alexei Shostakov and Black Widow assassin Melina Vostokov are working as undercover agents in Ohio, posing as an unassuming family with Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova as their young daughters. They have to escape once their mission is complete, and Natasha and Yelena are taken from the only parents they've ever known and brought to the Red Room to be trained as widows. The person responsible for separating them all is a man named General Dreykov, who was their direct boss and head of the Red Room. Natasha eventually defects to S.H.I.E.L.D., and she and Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, bomb Dreykov's Budapest office, which apparently kills Dreykov and his young daughter, Antonia. We've heard mention of the Budapest mission in previous movies, and here is where we learn what that was referring to. In modern times, Natasha is on the run after violating the Sokovia Accords, which was seen in Captain America: Civil War. We then join Yelena, her sister from when they were young, who is on a mission to kill a woman. She succeeds in her mission, but the woman sprays her in the face with a strange gas that seems to awaken Yelena from some sort of trance. It turns out that she had been under the influence of a mind control agent, and the woman had the cure. Yelena sends more vials of the antidote to Natasha, hoping that Nat can free the rest of the widows, and then Yelena goes into hiding. As Natasha is traveling with the vials, she is attacked by Taskmaster, a Red Room agent that can perfectly mimic any fighting style that they see as soon as they see it. Natasha escapes Taskmaster and tracks down Yelena, who reveals that Dreykov is still alive and the Red Room is still active. They then team up to get the old family back together, which includes breaking their dad out of a maximum security Russian prison and tracking down their mom, who is off-grid, in order to stop Dreykov, end the Red Room, and free the rest of the widows. And that's the general plot and new characters that you're going to get to know throughout this movie. No more details and spoilers. I'll leave the rest for you to discover as you watch. Fun bit of trivia. Black Widow first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 52 as an opponent of Iron Man for the span of 12 issues. She wore fishnet-style webbing in her costume and used gloves that allowed her to stick to walls, making the Black Widow moniker even more appropriate. When she appeared next in Avengers number 29 through 30 in 1965, she reformed by the end of the story and allied with the Avengers. I'm very excited for you all to enjoy Black Widow. It gives the character a much-deserved solo story and provides a lot of really interesting backstory for Natasha. It also expands the world with new, endearing characters who have become fan favorites. I'll be back soon with another primer video for the next movie in our marathon, Black Panther. Until next time.